Hello trainers, today we're diving together into Open Great League with 4 teams in total so that you can see which ones are gonna be the best that you can use in the current format and after all those move updates that we have had this season. So we're gonna start off with the first team showcase out of the total 4 and we're gonna analyze for all of those teams not only their core breakers but also their strongest assets and their combined synergy. So for the first team we're having here Medicham up in front, while at the back we got Registeel and the amazing Mandibuzz. So these three are gonna be extremely bulky for the meta. I like how effective this team can be against certain opponents, even against a Charmer up in front, which can be kinda trouble maker for this team. Medicham can still handle it by getting a shield out of play, and by sacrificing this Pokemon, you're gonna see that in no time you can bring your Registeel into the battle, and still you have another bulky option, which now with the updated Aerial Ace can get there fairly fast. As a core breaker here I have Trevenant, and that's only because you may encounter it up in front, and that is the only way that it can be a troublesome Pokemon for your team, since not only Medicham but also Registeel will struggle against it, but still you got Mandibuzz to handle this threat. What I also like about this team is that both Medicham and Mandibuzz can protect Registeel from those ground type Pokemon, which can be absolutely amazing, and by keeping as your closer your Mandibuzz, you're gonna see that with Aerial Ace you can get there fairly fast, while Foul Play will be your main charge attack to go against most threats. This team is very scary for a lot of trainers, and it requires a lot of synergy and rotation around your Registeel to draw out something that Mandibuzz might be afraid of, or just stay in there with your Medicham against a Charmer or a Fairy type in total, and you're gonna be just fine, because with that Fairy type out of your way, well, your Mandibuzz will most likely have no other threat to be afraid of. As we're moving into the next team showcase, you might be noticing already that we have here as a core breaker Medicham, and I want to start from there because Medicham is a severe threat for this team only because of Ice Punch and its counters. So Ice Punch can definitely one-shot down Gligar, being a double super effective move to this Pokemon, while the counters will not be appreciated by the backline. Also, what I like about this team though is that you can definitely play around this threat as well, especially up in front with your Gligar having access now to the updated Aerial Ace, able to get there fairly fast and still do an amazing work against Medicham, and of course in the process Lickitung can still finish off Medicham if you have a high excelled power up 1, because that leak damage is absolutely insane, and if this Medicham doesn't carry the move Dynamic Punch, you will be fine. Even against the Power Up Punch version you will be fine, which is absolutely crazy. As a closer, I really like Steelix for this particular factor, only because of its ability to destroy down its opponents either with Psychic Fangs or with Breaking Swipe. I recommend going with Breaking Swipe and Earthquake, because then you can get the biggest coverage that you can absolutely gain from this Pokemon, able to debuff the opposing line's attack stat, while at the same time you get coverage with a nuke against pretty much anything that isn't a flying in the meta with that amazing Earthquake. So yeah, definitely an all-around Pokemon, and that's why I like it as a closer with this moveset. So that is gonna be all about this team. Now let's see what we have about Team Showcase number 3. I'm pretty sure that you have already noticed I do not have a Carbink, so I'm gonna use instead here Bastiodon, but of course with Carbink this team is on a completely different level. So that's why I recommend going with Carbink if you have one over Bastiodon, because it is also gonna be used as a better safe switch. So with Carbink you are not even afraid of Medichams, which is absolutely crazy because this Pokemon is part Fairy, so you're gonna take neutral damage from those counters, while in return you can kinda do a lot of damage, barely one-shotting down that Medicham out of existence with a pure Moonblast, which is absolutely crazy for your rock type Pokemon. So as a closer here we got Emolga, and this team is kinda weird, I know, but still if you can use it correctly you are not gonna regret it, because Emolga on the closing part is gonna work absolutely amazing on a lot of threats, especially now that it has the move Aerial Ace. And to be honest, I have not seen a lot of content creators showcasing this Pokemon. This one is absolutely crazy, not with acrobatics, I repeat, with Aerial Ace and Discharge. It is super spammy, more spammy than ever. So yeah, absolutely an honorable mention from this season's update on the moves. So up in front, Swampert, you already know how crazily good this Pokemon can be. Can also protect the backline from different threats, something like a Stunfisk, something like a Bastiodon. So rotating around your Carbink to draw out that threat can absolutely work towards your advantage eventually, since you can finish off that Pokemon later on with your Swampert, and still Emolga will be the absolute closer that you need for your team. As a core breaker, yeah, of course we're gonna see here Ferrothorn, because of its typing can destroy down every single individual from this team, but still I would not be that much afraid of Ferrothorn, because it is not that much of a common Pokemon for the meta. Into the final one now, and of course we're gonna use Sableye up in front. At the back we got the Dugong with our amazing Venusaur. So this team is losing Stranded Square to Scrafty and perhaps Obstagoon, but still you're gonna see that those two are gonna be kinda of soft core breakers, because still you got Return, still you got the debuffs from your Dugong, and still you got Venusaur, which can absolutely destroy down this Pokemon if they have no shields at all, and that's why we're gonna use Venusaur as our closer. So up in front, I think that our Sableye, the little guy, has nothing to be afraid of. I haven't seen this team around a lot, to be honest, especially now that people are not using Noctowl. I was about to use this team as well, but then I had to make more videos around certain teams, but it doesn't matter. Still, we're gonna showcase it here with my best teams video in total. So Sableye is definitely an amazing leader up in front, especially now that everyone is using either a Deoxys or a Medicham up in front, so it will get you a lot of positive leads, or even against another ghost type. This Pokemon is absolutely amazing, even against its counters. So at the back, Dugong with Drill Run from the previous season update on the moves is gonna be one of the biggest winners as well, because right now it can absolutely destroy down a lot of meta Pokemon, especially with Icy Wind, all those ground types, and why not with your Drill Run, all those steel types that might be up against you, especially that Carbink, which is also gonna do severe damage to your team. So as our closer, once again we got Venusaur. I do not recommend going for the sad one. Venusaur already hits like a truck, and I think that the regular one is just gonna perform much better than the Shadow. So this team definitely is gonna be absolutely amazing on the offensive part, kinda glassy on the defensive, because you do not have a lot of bulk, but still after a few debuffs that Dugong will most likely not faint at all, even against a fighter, which is an absolute win overall. So that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed my video covering my best teams for Great League, and with that said, just be sure to leave a like before you go, and of course consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of my content here on YouTube. With that said, once again I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.